so I just try to do it as I can. This is actually a reading for Cancer. This will be the good things that are coming in for the month of April. Now, I'm just going to go through it just very generally. It doesn't look like any major things, except for I am seeing the moon card out here as the major arcana. So that could speak to being, there could be a lot of moodiness in this month, or certainly, still dealing with a little bit of a low ebb, emotional ups and downs, that kind of thing. But it certainly does indicate that there is something here that's opening up in terms of what you see. You're seeing more of a situation. You are at an end cycle with the Ten of Wands. And this I do feel is, Page of Swords can be representing anybody 20s to 30s, but it's also somebody who's really curious about the world again. We also have the Page of Pentacles. This could also indicate some kind of a new job, an undertaking of some sort. We also have the Strength card. Now, I'll go through all the clarifiers as well. And before my light shuts off, I might have to start at my car again here just because I do things en route before I head out to do other things. So just to kind of again go through, the only major arcana that I do see here is the moon card. So that one we'll go into more in depth. Oh, sorry, and the strength card as well. So there's definitely that feeling of pushing through something because you have so much energy here toward getting past this cycle. Like you really put in some work, because Ten of Wands tells me you're ready for something new. And of course, the moon is you're starting to see that there is a path forward. And we have the strength card, lots of resilience to make something happen. And especially when it's followed up by the magician, that's also a really good combination. Okay, there's also something here of a celebration for you and a reconnection as well in terms of a relationship. But we'll go through all of that here in a second. So we'll start off with the Page of Swords, and of course that's followed up by the Justice card. We have the Page of Cups, and we also have the Six of Swords. It's like you're moving into this whole new space right now. Again, the spread itself is just rich with like lots of layers, and it definitely speaks to various aspects of your life that will break down. So I am going to go through that on a financial, spiritual, emotional, romantic, that kind of, career aspects, all of that. But initially, this is you entering a new phase. There's a lot more ideas coming through. There is more potential. There's a shift in how you view your finances. There might even be more, well, I do feel there will be more information coming out with the Page of Swords as an indicator. There's new information that helps you to move forward or provides some kind of clarity in your financial situation about how you're going to move forward. So we also have the Justice card, which does indicate, even in terms of financial matters, that you're reaching a point of balance. So I feel like you're also making clear decisions. And I feel like they're significant ones, because this does deal with things that deal with contracts or anything legal or anything that is a significant decision. And you're handling it in a very balanced way. So you're being truthful, and there's a lot more to show for, there's nothing reckless in this energy. So I'm also seeing, as I said, we've got the Page of Pentacles over here as well, which is a strong indicator. This is also a strong indicator that you're focusing on learning a new skill. And again, it could be a new skill set on a small scale, or it could be setting small, manageable financial goals here as well. But either way, it is leading to long-term security, because you're going forward with the Two of Wands. I do feel like this is about starting new adventures. So again, there's something here about relating around, new information, new learning, honing financial skills, all of that. And of course, this is that the advice of the card would be just to stay informed, fair in your financial dealings, that kind of thing, because that's going to help you to advance and grow. The time frame, I would say, is mid-April. It looks like a good time to solidify or launch any new adventures, something like that. Hi, Astrid Worlds. And I do feel, even with the Six of Swords here, even though it's further out as just a clarifier, it does indicate that you're kind of parting ways from something that was more of a difficulty. So everything is starting to move into a space of balance. And again, it could be possibly one of a journey transitioning, where you're healing, you're moving away from turbulent spiritual matters, things like that. And you're kind of in this period now where you're moving towards more peace and understanding, because this can also indicate more of a spiritual sort of card. Hi, Fibria. But either way, I just feel like there's a lot of really strong energy here that kind of speaks to self-reflection, all of that. delving deeper, maybe even into life's mysteries, going through a period of self reflection. Even if there is still some confusion that's sitting here, this is still an important phase of your spiritual growth as well. You do have a lot of inner fortitude here, a lot of resilience, like I said, with the strength card, and it will help to guide you through any spiritual challenges that you undergo in the month of April. You can trust your, facing your fears kind of energy is what that really boils down to. Any spiritual lessons, anything that's difficult, I feel like you'll have the courage to deal with it with compassion. And again, the advice would really be just to be patient with yourself as you continue on that journey. But the time frame, again, even with that, is more along that later half of April, where you start to bring some clarity and into any confusing spiritual matters. Now, in terms of emotions, now the Page of Cups is really what I see on that. The Page of Cups is in around new emotional beginnings or messages, things that could be starting to come through for you. There is an emotional sort of a landscape feeling that you are now onto in a new, fresh, direction all around because you have so many pages. You have the Page of Cups, you have the Page of Swords, you have the Page of Pentacles. I mean, I think the only one we're missing here is just the Page of Wands, but overall, so maybe not quite inspired yet but there's definitely a lot of, strong, new emotional connections and creativity. I do feel is going to be a little further out here, but it is starting to shape. So again, we also had the Knight of Wands, and that's where I see some of that creative energy coming through, but it's also indicating it's very close to the relationship aspect of things. So I feel that there might be some impulsive energy around that, but I feel like you're still feeling a lot more energetic and there's a strong sense of wanting a new adventure. You're feeling much more passionate about these new opportunities coming through, but you want to avoid being hasty because that could trip you up a little bit, is what the advice is there. Now, the Three of Cups, that one is right over here, right beside. So the Three of Cups, of course, is a celebration, a period of celebration, or some kind of reunion or emotional connection or friends, that kind of thing. But either way, it's some kind of social gathering or some kind of shared moment here. So again, just enjoy the process because this is not only gatherings, this is like an emotional discovery for you. And that is something to celebrate. It does feel, like I said, a lot more emotional commit or fulfillment in the month of April for you. And I do feel like you're embracing a lot of new experiences, a lot of new things coming in for you in the month of April. So again, Two of Cups right next to the Knight of Wands. This could be some kind of a reconnection, or yeah, and I say reconnection because it's like it's in and out, not a connection that's always. It feels like there could be some sour areas around that connection, but this is not a connection that's been enduring and long. It may be long term, but it's like it's an in and out. It's not been consistently worked on. But there's lots of passion. There's lots of emotional, like a lot of sexual attention or sexual tension possibly with that as well. But I definitely feel like there's more harmony and balance in your romantic relationships and a deepening of an existing one. It could be introducing some kind of new relationship, but for me, that doesn't really feel like it's new so much. Usually Ace of cups or something like that would kind of come through for me. But now we're going to head over to the Magician. So the Magician is in around, you have all the tools to make what you want happen. And again, even on an emotional sense, in an emotional sort of frame, I would still say that this is a period where you feel like you've got a lot more personal power because you're starting to feel better about yourself. So if you're seeking love or you're trying to improve an existing relationship, I feel like you have the ability to create something and make it a really strong connection. So be confident in your romantic abilities, but also allow things to unfold, naturally. Don't rush things, don't force things. You can expect a significant development in the romantic area, I would say, toward the middle and end of April. Now we're going back to Page of Swords over here. So the Page of Swords kind of speaks to that strong intellectual energy here as well. A lot of curiosity. So I feel like you're learning a lot of new things, absorbing a lot of new information, things along that line. Really adaptable, sharp, quick-witted, that kind of thing. And again, with the Page of Pentacles, I mean, this is still that energy that you're on a path of steady learning and growing. So, especially involving practical areas of your life. So, money and studies, personal growth, anything that you're trying to make some real progress in those areas over time is showing up here. Oh yeah, and we did have the Ace of Wands here. So the Ace of Wands, sorry, we didn't say the Page of Wands, but we have the Ace of Wands. So that still is that burst of creative energy. And I think you're starting to find that you're inspired to start this new learning and this journey or this creativity or this creative project. There's something creative here, but I do feel like you're focusing on developing new skills and you're definitely staying curious in this energy. So I feel like this is a period where, again, there's a lot of mental energy going out here, and there's a lot of creative energy. And I mean, we've got lots of wands in this reading, a lot of emotional developments. And even though you're feeling still some level of overwhelm with the 10 of Wands, the responsibilities may weigh on you, and maybe you just feel like you can't get out of the burden. But again, you've got it followed up by the Queen of Swords. So there is still a lot here that tells me you're still thinking much more logically. There's much more communication coming in here. You know how to make some tough decisions because you can communicate well. And again, that's with others in a professional sphere here as well. So again, we have the King of Wands is kind of the final card out here next to the Magician. So this is your energy. And I feel like this is you have the ability to inspire others and create a bold vision. This is a visionary energy. So I feel like you are also in that space of taking charge of your life and creating more of you're trying to develop more leadership within yourself, but again, that takes a vision and that takes belief in oneself. And I feel like that's where you're starting to believe in yourself again. Again, there's still a bit of a workload, that you're still trying to balance out, but I feel like the first half of April will be a time for you to kind of streamline things and take charge of things. But overall, this spread is amazing. So again, despite there being some ups and downs here with the Moon card, I mean, I definitely feel like April is a time of new beginnings, significant relationships or transitions in those areas, both personal, professionally. Like you're guided to use your inner strength, and there's a lot of communication and you are in a place of trying to get clear on everything. So that's where I feel like this journey is taking you in April, because the presence of strong leadership, cards with that King of Wands and the Queen of Swords and all of that, just it's mature energy, and it does suggest that you're trying to make some really positive changes in your life. So again, stay grounded. Take those practical steps towards your goals. You do have intellectual expansion here, and you have a strong curiosity. You're willing to learn here, and that's really important. And things, despite you having some emotional ups and downs, I feel like there is going to be expansion. Don't rush into things too quickly, especially in romance or big decisions, but embrace those opportunities that are coming your way this month, because I do feel like you have some emotional and romantic beginnings. There's a chance to learn something new. And again, mid-April, I would say just focusing on your career decisions would be viable, opportunities that you could make work for you. And again, late April, more spiritual clarity, deepening of your emotional connections where will be kind of at play, come to the forefront there. But either way, I feel like you're managing your inner world and your outer responsibilities with more balance, strength, and confidence. And again, there could even be some kind of, there's a reconnection here. There's definitely some kind of a celebratory energy here going forward. Could be also dealing with a Libra energy here as well that's coming through. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, because there's a lot of air sign energy that's present. But either way, like I said, there's a lot of really good energy here that I feel is going to be working to your advantage. So that's what I have for you, Cancer, for the month of April as the good things coming in. Keep moving forward.